What's up, YouTube fam? Welcome back to the channel. In this episode, we're going to talk about how we've been printing money the last week or two and just explain really what we've been doing, how we could do it, or better yet, how you could do it, and what we're going to be doing moving forward. So with that being said, I don't know why there's no like desktop way to just show what I'm showing on the left of the screen right now. But as you can see, we've won our last 5 trades, selling puts on great companies during earnings. Now listen, I will say it has to be partially luck because of the fact that some of these stocks, like a TTD that is just gotten clobbered. Obviously, Reddit actually would have been good had we sold cash secured puts, right? This is the beautiful part about selling cash secured puts is if you would have sold, what I would have sold, which would have been like the 190 puts, you'd be up pretty good even with what a dump that we've seen. But obviously the stocks that we have done, and I'll show again on the left we're doing DraftKings for today's earnings, but we've done Robinhood, which we made pretty much 100% of the premium, Shopify, which we made 100% or close to it, sorry, Lyft, which we ended up getting out for a good exit, and I believe that's it for now, right, in terms of the earnings plays that we've done. But today we have a very, very exciting day because I'm doing something that I don't usually do, which is a little abnormal on this channel, is I decided to buy some shares for CONL going into Coinbase's earnings today. Obviously, as you can see, we're already down 2%, but I'm not sweating it. Now, what I also did is I decided to sell a covered call against those shares. Now, what makes CONL tricky, and obviously this is a stock that I've played around with already on this channel, is that it only has monthly options. So I don't really have any intention to roll this. Assuming CONL does absolutely rip up during earnings and we're able to get past 65, then great. I will take the whatever it is, $4,000 profit plus premium and exit at 65. Assuming it goes up and doesn't get to 65, great. I'll take the profit and the premium. And assuming it falls, then I will close this for 100% profit and I will take more covered calls to lower my loss and then ideally get out. Whether it's a small loss or a win. My thesis on this is that I believe Bitcoin is bottoming out, right? Let's see. Is this the chart that I use? No, well, I don't see my drawing, so I'll just redraw it. But, obviously we've been holding this very strong demand. It could obviously come and retest. It could obviously break down as well. My favorite indicator that I use also is the market cipher, which is flashing a buy signal on the daily, on top of a very strong buy signal on the 4-hour. As someone who's been watching this indicator for a couple years now, this is what you really want to see. Ultimately, just looking at the Bitcoin price action, right, just based on what I see, and again, I don't really usually take the stance of a trader. I basically just see the fact that we've came up and we've just since consolidated. You can call this a double top, but you can also say that this is a bull flag, right? So in the end of the day, what I see is a demand zone holding, and I just don't see the sellers really taking it much further with Coinbase having earnings today. Now, obviously, when it comes to earnings, our favorite strategy always is to sell cash secured puts. That's what's that's what's gotten us the wins. That's what's grown this account super fast. I didn't want to show the monthly because it's just not accurate saying that we're up 36% in a month. A lot of it was just recovering losses, positions we were in that we just held. But, this is a strategy we've been using since we started this channel 3 months ago, or more than 3 months ago now, so a year plus, and we're up 13% despite all the mistakes we've made. But with that being said, this CONL position is going to be, I don't want to say a make or break, but it's something that we haven't done, and it's something I'm excited because I do see the potential for this to be a huge, huge win. Now, could it be a huge loss? Yes, but reality is it would be relatively the same loss had we sold cash secured puts just because of the fact that I wouldn't want to roll either way, which is why I would stay away from CONL in general. The only reason I'm getting involved in it is because of the fact that, one, I'm a very avid crypto investor. Two, Coinbase has been a stock that I've wanted to trade since starting this channel, right? I've wanted to sell cash secured puts on Coinbase, but we haven't been able to have an account size big enough, so we've settled for CONL. And with that being said, after seeing what Robinhood did for our earnings yesterday or 2 days ago, right, it makes me want to get involved because I do believe CONL and Coinbase can have a very similar move up. Obviously Robinhood is up, 10%, but, it's up even more when you consider just what it's been doing And, I just see Coinbase and CONL making a similar move. Obviously, it already gapped up once. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something, similar where it gaps up, continues, maybe another gap up before it eventually retraces. Maybe something like this, right, where it just keeps going. That's what I'm expecting. It's what I'm anticipating. And ultimately, obviously, seeing people take losses like they did on TTD, right, it makes you realize that, it's a big gamble playing earnings, right? Obviously, selling cash secured puts is in a lot of ways the safest way and the best way to play earnings. And this is a strategy that's made us a lot. But we could have obviously taken this play and been just as unlucky and been down so much. So that's why I'm not as concerned with holding the shares, because, yes, we are putting ourselves at risk. Obviously, even right now, we're down 200-300 going into the earnings report later. And I think Trump talks at 1 o'clock. So, yes, obviously, we're putting ourselves at risk, but this is a risk I'm willing to take. You can call it a gamble. You can call it whatever you want, right? I'm not really concerned with what people want to say or what people want to call it. Ultimately, this is a play that I'm confident in, regardless of what's happening right now. Like, obviously, in the moment, this 1 hour candle is not what we want to see. But, just on the highest time frames, I like what I see from the charts. I like the fact that I think Bitcoin is bottoming out, regardless, again, of what's happening in the moment, right? Obviously, I could be wrong, and in which case, my plan would be to sell these covered calls for the next 7 days and ultimately pick a covered call where I get assigned and get out of this position and take the loss. Right now, obviously, I'm in this covered call, which, I think it's safe to say that if it does continue down and makes a big move down today, it will be worthless very quickly, right? So covered calls in a lot of ways is a hedge, similar to cash secured puts, right? Because cash secured puts, the put will lose value if the stock, the put will gain value if the stock goes down, making the put that you sold lose value, right? And the benefit is that you can roll lower or you buy at a lower entry. Covered calls is very similar because you already buy the shares, but since you're gaining $200 profit, that'll come out of your losses, right? Or like in this case, it would be $200, assuming this became worthless. So, let's just say I lost $1,000, it would be 1,000, but then minus 200 because you make 200 back on the covered calls. So that would be my plan, would be, if these go worthless, sell another covered call for next week, and ideally a one that I can get out, and assuming, obviously it bounces. Obviously right now, it doesn't look good, but, we have so much volatility coming up today that to be concerned over a move like this, especially on like a lower time frame, obviously this is a 15-minute, and in terms of this time frame, it's not like it looks bad, right? Like it still is an uptrend, it's still holding. Obviously, if we got down here, it would not be pretty, it would not be fun for our position. We'd be down a lot. But again, these are the risks I'm willing to take. This is a position I'm willing to take. Ultimately, we've been doing very well this week, and I'm willing to put some money, put some risk on the table to push it even further and see what happens. So that's my plan. That's the position we're in. It's going to be a crazy day. It's going to be rocky. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Obviously, it already is a bumpy ride. In terms of our other positions, right, this TQQQ leap is doing well. This TQQQ covered call is not, and the plan will be to wait till tomorrow, see what happens, and then ultimately roll it. Or actually, no, it expires next week. So I don't have anything to do with this position right now. I'm just going to hold it and see what happens over the next 7 days. DraftKings is the typical strategy of selling a cash secured put, right, with a $43 strike. So I'll pull up the DraftKings chart so you guys can see. Right, our strike is all the way down here. So even if earnings does send it, I think that we have enough leeway where, we should be safe and protected, right? It's 6%. Even if it goes down 10% and then gives us some sort of bounce on Friday, those puts should lose enough value, which would give us, time to collect a profit on this position. So that's where we're at. That's how we've made the money we've made. I hope you guys have been learning a lot from this journey. It's been an absolutely insane week for the people who have taken the plays I've taken and the people who have just played earnings in general. Today, hopefully, will be the last earnings play. It will be the last for at least the next week or two until we have NVIDIA in 2 weeks. But next week should be a much, much calmer week. I will see you guys probably tonight. I'll probably be making another video tonight because of the fact that once earnings comes out, this account is going to be in a crazy situation. So I want to document it and show you guys live. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned a lot. I hope you've been gaining a lot from this channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.